Max is back. We are going to touch on the Hawks versus Flames game and recap Team USA, their final gold medal game, and basically their just overall performance, I guess. Good stuff coming up right after the intro. Yeah, like I said, we'll start out with the Hawks game against the Flames today. I believe it was 2 p.m. Yeah, 2 p.m. puck drop.
Yep, matinee game, and the I don't know what event it was, but they had a kids announcer, a kid organist,
Yep.
pianist.
Always love when they have that kind of stuff. Think it's really cool, especially the organ, man. Awesome
Yeah.
stuff. Well, final score 4-3. Wasn't expecting this today, right? You see two new players in the lineup, or just one, because Rem Pitlick.
His flight was he was unable to take off due to weather concerns, and but other guy, can't think of his name right now.
Zach Sanford,
yeah,
Hawks legend.
Exactly. Sanford 1 assist today. He was able to get in.
Yeah, thought he fit the lineup well, right? Bigger body out there, just gives you someone else out there, really.
He was fine, but that's what you get when this is the lineup you got right now.
Yeah, when you got nine guys out, we'll definitely take a Zach Sanford. You could do worse, right?
Yeah.
Just looking at the lineup for today, super jumbled up, right? First line: Khrushchev, Dickinson, Blackwell.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at the second line, Lucas Reichel. You would think that he would get that shot today, up there with Khrushchev and Dickinson.
I thought maybe, but there was another part of me that was thinking, hey, him and Gutman are actually putting something together right now.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe we don't try and jumble things up too much. And it looks like they wanted that more young line to see what they could do, see if they could put anything up.
Yeah.
And they came close. They came real close.
Oh, yeah. And I think we've seen the flashes from them, Reichel and Gutman, before, just going back to like Rockford and, not scoring on plays, but I think they just play well together. Just by eye test, definitely like seeing that. But third line, Donato, Sanford, and they were rotating like Reese Johnson, Boris Kachuk up in there.
Yeah.
So that fourth line was Kachuk, Cini, and Johnson. Throwing Sanford in there, but I'm guessing once Rem Pitlick gets here, they'll shake it out.
Yeah, I think they're going to give Pitlick some power play time. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's necessarily going to get top 6 time.
Right. Definitely not. No, I would not expect that. Right.
But yeah, he's always had a bit of that offensive edge to his game.
Yeah.
But it just kind of fell apart in recent years. And since leaving Montreal, he's been a bit underwhelming. He's played all his games in the AHL this year, and there's a reason for that.
Yeah. Definitely not something that you should be, jumping up and down for, right? But
I'm excited about Remington Pitlick III.
Remington Pitlick III, Hawks legend, Hawks superstar.
He's about to be.
So it's 11 forwards, 7 defensemen today.
Yep. So we got Phillips coming back in, which he was fine. He was fine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Tenorti, I don't think he was as bad as he was, right?
That was pretty much everyone in the lineup, and I think they're finally getting back to last year's mentality of, wow, the entire league truly knows that we look like trash right now, and they aren't expecting anything from us. And there was a bit more of that underdog mentality today.
Mm-hmm.
A bit more of that, oh, really? You're going to underestimate us? Okay, we'll take advantage of that.
Right. I'm not sure if this pairing stuck the whole game, but it was Vlasic, Magna, Tenorti, Murphy, Korchinski, Zaitsev. I believe they did stick the whole game.
I believe
was there. Yeah.
Phillips was getting time whenever someone was too tired. But yeah, Korchinski, Zaitsev actually looked effective, and it was awesome to see.
Right. Later on, I think it was it second or third period? But Korchinski got lit up on the left boards there. I'm like, man, that's a solid hit. Don't like seeing it, but hey, that's a solid hit. Wow. But it seems to be fine. Korch. That's good. Mrazek in net today. Thought he played stout again.
Yeah. Yep. The team plays confident in front of him. That's what it is. And he plays pretty confident behind them, which is the most surprising part. Why would he be confident behind them? I don't know.
Right. I forgot who brought that up, but there seems to be like a different little energy, hustle, effort, right? When they have Mrazek in net, and not Soderboom. I forgot who it was. It might have been from CHGO Hawks. I forgot who it was, but I think
you're right.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. You wish they could play the same in front of two keepers, but
right.
They're more confident in front of one, and then it kind of shows. They don't expect saves to be made.
Right.
But I mean, hopefully we get back to that because they were playing pretty good in front of him last year. Relative to this team. To this team.
Yeah. Completely different, pairings and stuff. But yeah, there just seems to be a confidence, and I don't know what it's about, but we will see how that works out. Just looking at the numbers, if you're stat watching, right, you would think that the Flames won the game, possibly 4-3, right, on the other side. But shots on goal, 31-20 in favor of Flames. Face-off percentage, about 57% for the Flames, 43 for the Hawks. So pretty much dipping down because a few weeks ago we were hovering around 50%, but we've been dipping even close to like 38%, I believe it was last game.
Mm-hmm.
So face-off dot is killing us too.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Power play, both one for three. A couple goals here. The Colin Blackwell legacy game, right? Hawks superstar, Hawks all-star, Colin Blackwell.
I'm just proud of him. It's awesome. It's awesome to see.
Right. Not playing for like a whole year, and just seeing him bury the puck, that's good to see. Penalty minutes, 6 on each side. Hits about even, 17-16. Block shots, 22 for the Hawks, but obviously Flames had 31 shots. Giveaways, 12 from the Hawks. So a lot of mistakes being made on numbers, in stats, but 6 for the Flames. Takeaways, 10 for the Hawks, 4 for the Flames. Up and down, really, on the numbers. Weird game. Just super weird.
It was. I mean, you got a Flames team that maybe still has in mind the 3 games in a row they had lost previously to this one to the absolutely trash Chicago Blackhawks. And those are games that they know they should have won under Daryl Sutter last year. And I believe they lost one this year too, right? This was the second loss in a row this year, or I could be wrong about that.
I don't believe we've played the Flames.
This was the first game? Okay.
I think so, yeah. But last year, hey, we could take them in a series, definitely.
Yeah. I was so worried last year because we got a win that took us like 3 places up in the tank standings near the end of the year.
Right. I think that was the Lucas Reichel, like, I'm here game.
One of them. He had like
one of them, yeah.
2 or 3.
Yeah.
Real quick, back to Colin Blackwell. Do you think so his contract's up at the end of this year. He's making $1.2 million. He's 30 years old. You think we re-sign him? We have a lot of spots to fill. We have 19 contracts coming off the book at the end of this year. 19.
Yeah. I could definitely see it, as a bottom 6 guy.
Yep.
Uh,
I can see it because we're still kind of
mhm.
just biding our time, waiting for some prospects to come up.
Right, right. Or you know, like we've talked about before, like some shorter term contracts, right? You know, not superstars, but filler players. You know, people that could contribute. Could definitely see something like that
Yeah.
happening this off season. Yeah,
I think he's been playing his way into a 1 year contract
yeah,
this
uh,
year.
yeah, man. Definitely has a spot, right? Just like the way he plays, skates, and hey, man, he's picking up his points here. That's cool to see.
It's surprising and I love it.
Yeah. Just going over the scoring really quick here. Colin Blackwell gets on that board first. Wrist shot about 4.5 minutes into the game. Surprise, surprise. Jared Tenorti gets an assist there. So that's good for Jared.
Love to
But
see it.
yeah. Uh, a player that I've always noticed whenever we play him, whether it was the Avs or the Flames, Nazem Kadri is just all over the place
Yep.
um, when he plays us.
Yeah. So, I mean, everyone's been talking about how that deal is probably a little too much money for a little too long.
Hmm. Yeah.
And it is, but it's good to see him actually picking up pace again after a real lackluster start.
Oh yeah. I've always liked his game. Right.
Yeah,
Uh, ha-
definitely.
yeah, like he has a decent shot, scores in front of the net. You know, in the dirty areas, could play throughout the lineup. Very versatile. Like his game, really like his game. But he scores a second goal there to tie up the game, 1-1. Tipped it in, but 13 minutes into that first period there. Um, good stuff from the Flames there, Kadri. Second period, Andrew Mangiapane, he gets on the board, power play goal, makes the game 2-1.
Yeah, it's nice to see Huberto get on the board too. He had the primary assist on that one, and
Yeah,
you were talking before. He looked a little invisible, but
yeah,
I mean, it's something. Maybe that gives him a little confidence, gets him going a little bit. But
yeah. 13th assist there, so not exactly that player that he was a few years ago, right?
not living up to the contract, but it's not nothing.
Yeah, just a rough situation for him. Uh, weird, a weird trade, really. When I look back at it, but
It was a fascinating trade. Yeah,
yeah, for the Panthers, right?
for everyone.
Get Kachuk and that season before. Not trying to go off the rails here, but you see Johnny Gaudreau and Matt Kachuk just 100+ points each, right?
Hmm.
That season, and you think they're building some really good momentum there, and then they just
Yeah,
blow it up.
I mean, it seemed clear that neither was going to resign at that
Right,
point, and they kind of had their hands forced. And quite
right.
frankly, the whole hockey world thought they did amazing getting Huberto and Uyghur back.
Yeah.
That looked incredible for a guy who everyone knew was trying to take off.
Hmm.
So it's a pretty funny twist, but
Oh yeah. Let's see here. Philip Kershev
yep.
stays contributing, stays getting on the board. Man, he's just a player that's playing very well. Uh, I think
Yeah,
he's a factor at every game, right?
yeah, he's showing why he got that contract in the arbitration over the summer.
Yeah. And that's just that 1 year extension, right?
I believe so, and so he may get a pay raise, or they may see what his value is on the market. Because
Ooh.
I don't think it's out of the question for them to be like.
Hmm.
I don't think he winds up in the top 6 on this team when they're a contender again,
No.
which calls into question what is it worth to keep him here? What's it worth? What's his worth on the market?
Hmm. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised, right, if we see a move like that um, at the deadline, right? But I think I could see him carving out a role,
Yeah,
middle six, right? Maybe not like
yeah,
in a contending stage, but maybe a year, 2 years from now, if he fills a role like that, because I think we've seen that he could play a different role, and
Definitely.
yeah, and he has a scoring touch. Obviously, he's got some skill. I really like how he plays, man. Good stuff from Philip Kurashev. Nikita Zaitsev, hot shot defensive scorer, right? All of a sudden, he gets on the board there, makes the game 3-2. About 15 minutes into that second period, slap shot from the point.
Goes off the skate, completely unintentional. But
yeah,
every once in a while, when there are injuries, he has a game where he genuinely steps up, and that's awesome to see for a guy who kind of knows he is unwanted throughout the league.
right. Yeah. And I think we've seen a little like burst from him where he's looking like he can just be a third pair defenseman, right? Instead of being scratched all the time, not even fitting the roster, right?
Yeah.
But I think he's like low key improved, kind of.
I do agree with that. I think the coaches are they've kind of found a way to communicate with each other what each needs.
Yeah. It's kind of similar to what I would say like Caleb Jones the last few years.
Yeah.
Right? Like
looked better as time went on with
with the
Richardson
system
and the staff.
Yeah.
And, who's it? Kevin Dean.
Yeah.
Our defensive what would be just defensive coach.
Yeah, from Boston.
Yeah, we swiped him from Boston. That's pretty exciting because
a
lot of teams wanted him.
Yeah, and I think we're definitely seeing his benefits, right? Vlasic's playing well.
Vlasic's playing amazing for what kind of maybe the expectations were. I've maybe said this before, but I don't think that the team expected this much of a solid game from him just out of the gate. I think they saw the ceiling, but I don't think they realized how very ready he was. And Kevin Dean.
Yeah.
Every step of the way, we got a defensive minded defenseman.
At 6'6".
Yeah.
Right. That's like I definitely didn't expect to see him play this well so early on, right? I think he's only 22 now.
Every single one of those defensemen besides Korchinski, every defenseman every rookie defenseman we've had to call up has been 22.
Yeah. And I believe he broke his ankle last year.
Was it the ankle? It might have been the ankle.
It might have been. But I remember he was out for, an extended period of time there. And he came back to Rockford and was contributing, playing very well. And stepping in this year off that injury last year, his progress is just awesome to see, with the Hawks now. Finishing up the scoring really quick here. Colin Blackwell, power play goal. 14 minutes into that third period, makes the game 4-2 with a decent shot there. Nice to see that going.
Yeah, that was a good play. He used defender as a screen and same glove side shot that got him his first one.
Yeah. Snipe City, Colin Blackwell, known sniper, right? Third period there, 15 minutes in, Nazem Kadri also two goal game. So he makes that score 4-3, but Hawks hold on for the last 5 minutes there. Yep. Solid win. Solid performance.
Another primary assist for Huberdeau. So while he actually he didn't get as much ice time, especially at the end of the game, as maybe fans of him would have wanted, but it's good to see him actually putting something up.
Yeah. Definitely, wish him well there.
I am still a fan of him. I really want him to turn it around.
Yeah. He's been a very quality player pretty much his whole career up until so weird situation, but I hope it works out there for him. that pretty much wraps up the Hawks game from today. Just checking if there's any news post game. Really quick here. Ben Pope.
No, not really much news. There was a bunch of quotes, but
Yeah.
Vlasic did take a stick to like the larynx or something near the end of the
Right.
game.
Right.
But he was on for his next shift, so
Yeah. I do remember that. Yeah. So everyone can chill. Scary stuff though.
every beat reporter had a tweet about how another one went down, but it's okay.
Yeah. That would have been absolutely brutal. That's crazy. But that wraps up the Hawks game. We could jump into Team USA.
Yes, please.
Recap. Yeah. Let's see here. I could throw up the pick if you want, or if you have some thoughts on the gold medal game first.
Yeah, let's start with that. It was it was in Sweden against Sweden. Very intense home crowd, and you could really feel that. And if you missed it, maybe find a way to stream that some way, because that was a really good game. It's a lot of fun. And shout out to Isaac Howard, Frank Nazar's line mate for years through the NTDP. But the chemistry's there and didn't go away, and they proved that this tournament. And 2 goals for him. Great game from him.
Yeah, he was rolling.
Yeah.
Howard, great game, man. But I believe Hawks prospects went pointless in the gold medal.
I believe they did. I don't think any assists either. But some contributions in other ways.
Right. Yeah.
Here, let me get up the box score, the play-by-play or whatever.
Yeah. Just rattling off the points. McGroarty, I believe that was an empty netter for him, but he had 2 points, 1 goal, 1 assist. Gavin Brindley, 1 assist. Let's see. Will Smith, Bad Boys, BC line. He got 2 assists.
Yeah, very good game from them.
Yeah,
that whole line.
Gabe Perreault, man, 3-point game, 1 goal, 2 assists.
Yep,
good stuff from.
And Ryan Leonard being a proper pest.
Yeah,
really agitating the whole Sweden team.
Yeah, he was getting tossed around for most of the game, really. But I think that's just like what comes with playing in the dirty areas, because he seems to get it around there all the time. Really like how he plays.
Exactly. There's nothing that's going to stop him from getting from the front of the net.
Yeah.
And I want to go on record saying this. I actually had Ryan Leonard ahead of Will Smith on my final board.
Oh,
so a bit of a hot take, but right now I'm standing by it.
Yeah. Both great players, man.
Yeah. You can't be sad with either of them. But let's see. Shout out to Trey Augustine. Had a few games. A few games where he was sick. Comes back for the semifinals. Knocks it out of the park. Comes back to the finals. Again, phenomenal game. So Red Wings have a good one.
Oh yeah. Let's see here. Jimmy Snuggerud, 1 assist. I believe he was making some plays. I can't remember exactly, but
I think Snuggerud had the slap shot to get the US on the board. I think I'm remembering the right game.
Yeah, I think so. How do you say his name? Drew
Fortescue.
There you go. 1 assist also. But chippy game towards the end. Frustration. From the Swedes.
Yep, and
that got really chippy. I mean,
you see Lane Hudson with his little scrap.
Yeah,
it's the guy like 6 inches taller than him.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Yeah, man. Really like Lane Hudson. BU, right?
And I don't know. I like him, but he holds onto the puck for so fucking long.
Yeah, there was one possession. I'm like, dude, you're not like Cale Makar, man.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
The feet aren't quite there to pull
Right,
some of the
right.
stuff off. And like a lot of the times he does find the better play, but a lot of the times he doesn't. A lot of the times he kind of gets himself into a corner. And
Yeah.
sorry, Habs fans. Like he's phenomenal to get like near the end of the second round. Phenomenal pick, but he's frustrating right now.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely noticed some of those hiccups in that gold medal game, but fortunately, they came away with gold, 6-2. Final score, good stuff.
Yep.
USA. Got stats, man. If you want to go over
real quick, we didn't get to Sam Renzel. Actually, perfect time to bring that up.
Yeah.
Because
Let's see here.
This was I thought it was a very good game from Sam Renzel. But so this actually includes all 7 of the games tracked by Mitch Brown and Lassie Allen. For a project, and Hawks were very clear about this when they drafted him. They were like, "This guy is a project. We're expecting like 5 years before he even touches the NHL." So for this to be what we're seeing out of him against guys that are, or were supposed to be genuinely significantly more developed than him, those are great numbers.
Yeah, and
he held his own.
Yeah, definitely. Being the biggest D-man on that USA roster, right?
Yeah, the height's the main reason he even got an invite in the first place.
I think so. Yeah, the size and skill, right?
I mean, to be clear, that back line didn't need skill.
Right.
They had all the skill they needed, but for him to have this showing, I'm actually very satisfied with his World Junior performance.
Yeah, and he mentioned just trying to play more of a two-way game, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you see that right there, defensive plays.
Yeah, I was going to point it out. That's good stuff to see. Ratings, numbers, 90 on defense, overall 82 performance, but you can measure that how you will.
Yeah.
But yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. And
Sam.
to be clear, he was on the shutdown line of the 3 lines pairings with Zibu. They weren't expected to take as many offensive draws or face-offs in the ozone, and it reflects in their offensive stats. But regardless, man, I mean, he did his job and he did it well, and he helped win.
Yeah, the biggest part, right? To
seriously
bring home the gold.
What more can we ask from a project who was not expected to be on this team?
Yeah, and he's 19.
Yes, he is 19
right now.
But yeah,
wow, good stuff, Sam. Back at Minnesota now. I believe he went to the box for roughing tonight, but hey, man, that's cool.
I did not catch that.
Yeah, popped up earlier, but hey, man, you got gold. It's all right. You could get back in the groove in Minnesota.
I don't care if he takes the penalty for roughing. That's awesome. I didn't.
Yeah, man.
It's nice to know he has it in him.
Yeah.
Now his roommate also at Minnesota.
Oliver Moore. Let's see here. Where is it? Boom.
Yep. For a 13th forward who came into this not knowing where his spot in the lineup was. Pretty good tournament.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hey, I forgot I was going to read some Mitch Brown quotes on each of these players.
Yeah.
So if you pop back to Sam Renzel, and then I'll do Oliver Moore's quote.
Awesome. Yeah.
So this is from Mitch on Twitter when he was posting these. Sam Renzel, shutdown role went pretty well for Sam Renzel. Kept his usual high-value transition ability, which you see in the control entries for 60. High-value transition ability while becoming a suffocating in-zone defensive presence. If he can tighten that neutral zone gap, he'll be cooking. Impressive showing from a prospect who keeps adding new ways to impact the game. What more can you want from a 25th overall pick who you already knew had that ceiling?
Yeah, and I think his analysis, right? I think that pretty much sums up what we saw, right? Just love seeing it, man. Second year in the system, that's great stuff. Here I'll pull up more.
Oliver Moore started as the 13th forward and finished as one of the best players at the World Juniors. Now, that's a bold statement. I'm not entirely sure I agree with that, but
wow,
I think he's going specifically off his data rather than like the general eye test, because he looked good, but best player at the World Juniors, there was a lot of very good players there. Here's a fun stat. Moore was 12th in expected goals, 2.5 expected goals over the 7 games, despite only getting a total of 65 minutes of ice time. That's definitely on the low end. So to get all the way up to 2.5 expected goals is pretty impressive. And I mean, we already knew the guy has game-breaking speed. Game-breaking. So seeing his some of the mental game and some of the skill shine beyond the speed is nice to see.
Yeah. And you see it in broadcast, right? Like live reaction. His speed's legit. Legit skater.
Yeah.
All around. Love that pick for us.
Yeah. I'm still so baffled that he dropped to 19.
I wasn't expecting that either.
Neither was the team.
Was definitely looking.
Neither was the organization. I don't know if you saw the Every Shift episode where you get Kyle Davison's reaction in real time. He's pretty pumped.
Oh yeah, he was going nuts during the draft there. Here, I'll pull up Frankie
Nazar III. Dude, we got 3 thirds in the organization right now.
Yeah.
We got Frank Nazar. Through 7 games, Frank Nazar was the top forward at the World Junior in this data set. Literally the top forward.
Wow.
Now, this data only tracks 5. This is only 5v5 data, I believe. But we're looking at the top forward in the entire World Juniors data set. Driven by incredible results everywhere. The rare combination of high volume, high efficiency, and high value plays. And you can see it reflected there in that data.
Yeah. And it's just crazy, right? To see that in numbers, but his performance was, awesome. But didn't score a goal.
Not one. So what I wanted to say is that in the final 2 games, the semifinals and actually the quarterfinals, semifinals, and the final game, the main thing he brought was kind of allowing his other 2 partners to play as close to their games as possible, get what they wanted to do done, whether that be a shot, getting to the net, all of that. A lot of that was possible due to Frankie Nazar's motor, his intelligence, decision making. I'm excited.
Yeah. I believe his most consistent line mates were just Brindley and Howard.
They didn't break that up much at all.
No. And you can see that translate, right? In numbers and just on the ice. That's awesome.
Now, did you watch the gold medal game? And
yeah.
So he was falling a lot, and I noticed that it was happening more when he was putting his right skate under him than his left skate. And I'm pretty sure that his hip surgery was on his right hip, and I think there's a correlation there. I'm not sure he's 100% comfortable with the what are known as punch turns. Over his what he would be a righty, so it would be over his inside leg right now.
Yeah. So crossing over, going left, you mean?
To his right.
To his right.
So basically, just if it's an awkward motion for his right hip, I think there's a little bit of a awkwardness still. And
yeah, right. A little fear.
I'm not. It might be fear too, yeah. But I'm not worried long term. But it's just worth noticing, taking note of.
Yeah. And I think that's fair, right? Like I think we brought up last time, like a little dip,
Yeah,
minor dip in his top speed. But yeah, just pointing out a few things that
yeah,
it's not a concern right now, but just
yeah.
something that we noticed.
And
Yeah.
for him to be the top forward at this World Junior thing in this data set while still having
Hmm.
discomfort, I would maybe not discomfort, but slight limitations in the skating right now.
Hmm.
That's just awesome. He transitioned to maybe a little more of a cerebral facilitating game, and it showed.
Right.
Look at that, A1 per 60.
Hmm. Oh yeah, that's seeing him create right without driving
Yeah,
all the time. You're gonna need that for longevity. Like Kaner, just looking back at
yep,
him in his early days, he's driving to the net, driving everywhere, right? Speedy player, but years go by, and he
yeah,
obviously he's one of the better playmakers of our generation.
yeah. So a little similarities between Kane and Nazar with maybe a little bit of hip discomfort. You see,
Yeah,
their
right,
games
right.
changed a little bit,
Hmm.
but
Definitely.
I'm pretty confident
Mhm,
we'll get back to Nazar at full form.
yeah. Definitely hoping for it,
Yeah,
right? That speed and creativity. Wow.
yep. And we'll see how he finishes off this sophomore year at Michigan. Right,
Yeah.
he's kind of the top guy there in a lot of ways. He's playing
Hmm.
first line center a lot of games, and I think it's fair to say that they're gonna keep Nazar and Brindley together for a while. Try and
Yeah.
keep that World Junior stuff going. But
Hmm.
so the real question is, do we think that he goes back to school one more year because he missed out on that freshman year, or do we think he signs for AHL or signs an AHL contract, or does he make
It's
the
yeah.
team out of camp with all the openings next year?
Uh,
I don't know.
I don't think I would rush him for the Hawks
I
right
wouldn't
now.
either. I
Um,
would have a very high bar for him to make the team.
yeah. I think the injuries are just creating a weird situation for Rockford, right?
Hmm.
Where we're just plucking and plucking. But I think if Frankie goes pro next year, I think he's going to have a better situation in Rockford, right, to get comfortable
Yeah,
with pro game.
yeah. So Rockford and I mean both the pro leagues that are options
Hmm.
to him are all around physically harder. You have more games and you have less recovery time.
Hmm.
At Michigan, he would have that recovery time. He would have more time in the gym to really strengthen that hip up. I in spite of this World Junior performance, I'm kind of leaning more towards Michigan for one more year, and then
Oh.
see how he fares after that. Because I think having like a whole week between games, right, and getting so
Hmm.
much more gym time,
Yeah.
I think that may be the road. That's kind of the
Hmm.
conclusion I've come to right now,
Yeah.
which may disappoint Hawks fans, but we got time. We got
Hmm.
time.
Yeah. Uh, Definitely not dying to see him next year,
Yeah,
right? Up in the lineup, right? The big
yeah.
lineup,
I
but
mean, it would be
mhm.
so awesome to see him with Bedard, maybe. That
It would. Right.
but
Um,
be patient and be patient.
yeah. Uh, Here I'll throw up Lucas really
Yes, please.
quick.
So this
Yeah.
I gave you this to you. We were gonna relate this back to the game today a little bit because
Hmm.
I don't know, Tab Bradford or whatever his name is.
Yeah. Bamford. Yeah.
Bamford. He he is not a fan of Lucas Reichel.
Really.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more than a little unfair, but
Hmm.
people are impatient. People are sports fans are fickle. And
Yeah. Hmm.
look, what we're seeing right here is a relatively very high probability of getting that first line time.
Hmm.
And I
Yeah.
mean, the numbers this is only up to last year's data. So it doesn't include this slow start this year, this sort of sophomore slump, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I don't think that bus probability has gone up that much.
Really?
Really, I think that this is enough of a sample size to tell you what player you have.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, man. I'm definitely not writing him off,
Yeah.
right?
You,
And I'm not really concerned about
okay.
it.
Well, that was
But
my next question. Where's
yeah,
your level
yeah,
of concern with this? Because you have to have a
yeah.
little, but in my
Hmm.
opinion, the same player is still there. It's just a mental thing.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed. He still has all the skill. He still has the skating.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's just right now it's a mental thing. It's a little bit of a mental block, and
Yeah.
you see it time and time again with these sophomore players. They take a step
Hmm.
back. They're no longer new to the league, and something about
Hmm.
that, players struggle.
Right.
But
Um.
he'll break through. I'm fairly confident. He's right there.
Yeah. It is that mental thing, right? And I think just like the inconsistent line mates too,
That's not
possibly,
helping.
right?
And I mean, being
Uh,
on this team isn't helping anyone.
no, no. That's why Bedard was just so, you know,
Yeah.
next level. It's not ideal for anyone really. But the line combinations, it's not Max Domi and Double A, right?
Yeah.
Looking at last year, where Double A's, healthy skater, Max Domi was dynamic,
Yeah.
winning faceoffs, a couple snipes here and there, but pretty decent passer too back then.
Yep.
Um, Man, that line was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Jeez, wow.
Towards the end of the season, it was humming.
Right. That was unreal. Yeah, but we'll see what happens with him, man. Just bringing up, our young guys really quick. I think I brought it up not too long ago, but seeing the hate for Arvid Soderblom, I don't really get it.
Yeah.
For two reasons. First reason, right? He's not a draft pick. He's not a Hawks draft pick. He was undrafted.
Mm-hmm.
Signed by the Hawks here, but I'm not gonna flip tables over
Yeah.
his performance. Really, to be honest, I'm not sweating it if he's gone next year. He, pretty simple. He wasn't a draft pick. It's just taking a flyer on a guy that you think has some potential to work out in our system, right? Which he showed some potential,
Definitely.
but
So I
yeah,
think fans got their hopes up a little bit.
right.
So the organization as a whole kind of began comparing him to Corey Crawford. That was
Mhm.
kind of the messaging that was
Right.
getting out, and I believe Jimmy Waite himself was like, "Yeah, I see a lot of parallels there to Corey,"
Yeah,
and that's for Hawks fans. That's a quite the praise, but it definitely might make you expect certain things.
yeah. And I think once people heard Crow, they're like, oh, he's supposed to be stout. Uh, let up only 2 goals a night ish, right? That's not going to happen for him being what 23 years old now.
I think he's 23, yeah. But
23,
the point is,
yeah,
for a goalie, that's so young. He turned
yeah,
20.
right,
Turned 24 recently,
right.
but still,
Super young, yeah, for an NHL goalie.
yeah. And
Yeah,
I mean, so many of the mechanics are there. A lot of the positioning, a lot of the manipulation of the shooter, and
yeah.
he's shown he can have the rebound control if he's on his game.
Hmm.
But I mean, the common saying is goalies are voodoo, and I'm a believer in that.
Yeah.
If he's not mentally on his game, it's going to be a tough one. But
Mhm.
past few starts of his, if we look
Yeah.
at his whole game, he's
Mhm.
shown he can bounce back from that. And I definitely do not think the team is anywhere near like actually giving up on him.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think they still see what they saw in him initially, and I think they just need to figure out his mental side.
Yeah. Even if they like keep him, keep him in rotation for like the next 2 years, and he's still up and down, I'm still not really sweating it.
Because
You know?
he wasn't a draft pick. You're not seeing the real
Yeah.
loss there.
Right. Yeah. Like I just look at it in an investment type of way, right? Like you got him for free, basically.
Yeah.
Signed him to a small contract and stuff, but yeah. I think just the second reason on him is like goalies are weird, man. Sometimes they're on a real stinker, right? And then they get on a hot streak. Or it could be a health thing, mental thing, right? Like Mrazek is super stout, unreal for this type of situation. Goalies are weird, right? Weird stuff. But hope it works out, right?
Yeah.
For the long term future.
Definitely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Any more updates from tonight?
Yeah. Last thing I want to say
yeah.
Arvid Soderblom. I don't know.
Yeah.
Last thing I want to say is that I don't think the organization is as worried as the fans are, and I'll leave it at that. I think they're a lot more comfortable with how this is playing out than the fans. I think.
Yeah.
And that's also why they have like 5 goalies that they have that they've drafted in the past however many years. Minus Soderblom, who wasn't drafted. But point being, that's why you have a lot of them. If one just doesn't show they can keep up with it, you can move on to the next. It's not that as big of a deal as we seem to think.
Yeah. Like I think Dominic Bassey still in the system.
He might not be.
Or he might have been let go. Not sure, but it just shows like you could pick up goalies somehow, some way, right?
100%.
Yeah. So
yep,
we'll see where that goes.
We own his rights.
Oh, really? Still okay. Yeah, I believe he's 6'6".
Yeah,
I think that's the one thing that stood out to me.
St. Cloud. We moved one of our goalies when we traded Domi. And I thought it might have been Bassett, but it's not. We still have Bassett.
Really?
Yeah, I can look at the Domi trade really quick. But we got Khudobin. We got Khudobin back. And
Anton Khudobin, Hawks legend. Yeah, that was definitely a weird game for Hawks legend Anton Khudobin.
Yeah.
That was rough. I don't know what that was.
Dylan Wells,
you're right. Hawks legend. I think he won a game.
We have so many legends.
Right. Lots of legends here. The history. It's crazy.
Did you want to talk about you mentioned a couple young players you wanted to talk about, or did you just want to talk about Soderblom?
Just really quick to close it out, I guess. We have a trade from the Flint Firebirds.
Yep.
Gavin Hayes news, gold medalist Gavin Hayes, right?
Yep.
Let me read this trade out really quick. Firebirds have acquired Alex Kostov, Connor Kladenberg, a 2nd-round pick, a 3rd-round pick, a 4th-round pick, and a 5th-round pick from the Sioux Greyhounds in exchange for Gavin Hayes.
Yep.
Gold medal, superstar.
Yep. He's going to the playoffs again.
Yeah. And I believe he's joining up with his brother on the Greyhounds.
Yes, he is.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's cool stuff.
Hang on. Let me check one thing. I think his brother might be a defenseman, but let's see.
Yeah.
I think it's Avery Hayes. He has 3 brothers, but I'm pretty sure it's Avery.
Wow. Avery Hayes, defenseman.
Oh, no, that's the older brother. Hang on. Hang on. Travis Hayes?
Travis Hayes.
There we go. Okay. The other brother's the defenseman. Travis Hayes is a right wing playing for the Sioux Greyhounds. He has 24 points in 39 games. They probably won't wind up on the same line, but it's still pretty awesome to see. His brother, 16, by the way, so this is his first year.
Wow.
His first year in the OHL.
Yeah. I guess before we close it out, Gavin Hayes, what's his timeline? You thinking?
So you should be getting into the AHL next year, and then we
Okay.
we just give it time. We give it time to marinate. We don't rush it because you don't want him to be an emergency call up, really.
No.
He doesn't have that quite the physical game of like a Colton Dock or I don't know, a Nolan Allen, but
yeah,
because those two guys could probably hold their own in the NHL, at least physically. Gavin Hayes, he's got some of the size, but he doesn't have that
the grit yet.
Not quite.
No.
Most of what he has is the shot, and even that, I don't know. I want to check back in on him maybe in 2 years. See how he's feeling. Yeah. There's definitely the potential for a
middle six type of guy.
Yeah, I don't see him as a fourth line guy when it comes to a contending team. But if he can round out his game and maybe get a little more cerebral with how he envisions passes and plays developing, he could definitely be something. He's getting his feet there. He has a good top speed, but maybe work on that explosiveness.
Right. Yeah. The excel, definitely noticeable. Right.
Yeah.
When he picks up the puck,
real noticeable in the OHL. He was less noticeable in the World Junior Championship, but I mean, he was given fourth line time. You can't expect too much from him.
Yeah. Right. That pretty much wraps up the prospect news for tonight. Anything to close out? Any thoughts?
I'm just excited. Excited, man. I want to get to the draft, see if we can cook up a trade to get a little higher into the draft. So we'll see.
Yeah. And we'll see this trade deadline.
I'm still gonna make my prediction being only Jason Dickinson's the one to go.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening. Yeah. Obviously, can't ship out a ton of people because there's no one here for next year.
Well, that's kind of my hope, is that we get a bunch of people coming back from injuries before the trade deadline, which kind of frees us up to make moves that we want to, rather than be forced to not make moves.
Yeah, definitely makes sense. And we'll see how he performs until then. Right, not too far away, really. When you look at it, not super far.
We found the actual date.
Yeah.
March 8th.
I forgot when it was. March 8th. Yeah, so not super far away, man.
It's coming up quick.
Yeah. It's flying by, but hopefully time flies by to get Bedsy back on the ice. That would definitely be awesome.
Yep.
But yeah, but we'll close up there, I guess. Yeah, so Hawks play was it Tuesday? I believe we are playing the Oilers. So McDavid will be in town. Obviously, no Bedard versus McDavid, but
that one's going to be a fun one. It could be an absolute blowout, or maybe we keep this energy going. That's underdog stuff.
Yeah.
Throw a few hits throughout the game, and keep it tight.
Yeah. Hopefully we slow down offensive juggernaut Zach Hyman, right?
Exactly.
But yeah, he's unreal on that line. But yeah, but we'll get in that later on. Post game for that. Yeah.
Real quick, you want to make a prediction for a score for that Oilers game?
Yeah. You could go first. Yeah. Rough one.
6-2.
Really?
Oilers.
Yeah, I'm probably going 5-1. Oilers on that.
Last time we did this, you predicted correctly. You said 4-1, and that was what the score was. So let's see if you can keep your streak going.
Yeah, unless Colin Blackwell just
Well,
decides to go snipe town.
You know what?
And, get a hat trick.
Maybe I changed my prediction.
Yeah,
I'll keep it, but we'll see.
All right. Yeah, we'll see. Stay hot, Colin Blackwell. We will see about that one. But yeah, that's Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. And yeah, we'll check back in.
You know what I'm hoping for? I'll tell you what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for a clean goal from Korchinski. One that doesn't bounce off anyone, one that is just straight into a corner.
Top shelf.
Yeah.
I would love it.
I want that I need that to happen sometime this year.
Yeah. I think he needs that. He needs to see that, right?
Yeah. He is not a shoot first kind of guy right now. And
yeah. Rizzy is checking in there. What's up, dude?
Love it, boys.
Yeah, man.
Hey, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, we're closing out now.
Yeah, you're a little late, but
yeah. Touched on a bunch of stuff. World Juniors, Hawks game. But yeah, man, we will be back. Hawks and Oilers, or we'll see schedules. But yeah, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. That's Tuesday. Yeah, we'll see. Hawks, Oilers, McDavid, no Bedard. Get better. Prayers for Connor. And we'll be back. Let's go Hawks.
Let's go Hawks.